first question, the answer is quite long, but quite simple. According to the last class, according to Choninama, in the 3 training, although each training has their own main focus, but they are not all limited to the case. And please describe. So for the training of the morality, what does Choninama say? What do you need to do in order to have the training of morality?
To avoid the 10 non-virtues?
Yes. Cool. Whose answer? Cool. Oh, sorry. It's another one. 10 non-virtue, right? Yeah. Train state of mind where you want to give up the 10 bad deed. All right. So the second one, the training of the concentration. So the training of the concentration, they have a 2-part. One is the main focus, and the other one is more achievable way to get the training of the concentration. So please skip the first one. What is the main focus for the training of the concentration?
Oh, single pointed concentration.
Yeah. What is the Sanskrit?
Shamatha.
Yeah. Shamatha. Yeah. But it is not the case all training of concentration is limited to shamatha. So is there any achievable way that we can also have some training of concentration?
I think he said like any attempt to focus your mind is like the training of shamatha.
Yeah, any attempt that you try to focus on your mind. Yes. A good deal of pure way of thinking, or any attempt to focus your mind in a single point. And even they are far away from shamatha. Okay. So the last one, what is the main point of the training of the wisdom?
Vipassana.
Yeah, vipassana. Cool. And what is the more achievable way?
Anytime you're thinking about emptiness.
Close, but
all kinds of no self, the studies of all kinds of.
Yes. Can you give an example that Geshe ever taught before? Which subject he mentioned last time?
He mentioned the pen a couple times.
Yeah, and the six favorite.
Of 6 flavors.
6 favorite.
By the way, Gibson, we'll check the Sanskrit for Vipassana. It seems like the only long owl is the last A.
Okay, so how to pronounce it?
I thought it was
Vipassana.
Right? Vipassana.
Yeah, the last A is the long A.
Vipassana. Vipassana. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And what is another way to get the training of the wisdom besides the thinking of the no self?
Opala's book.
Yeah. Any struggle you have or any understanding you have in the class, in a way, it's a wisdom, training of wisdom. Yeah, and if you are going to thinking about the meaning of the single word, so yeah, there's 3 points here. Cool. Yeah, so the second question, please name 3 metaphors that Jason Kaba gives us for describing the wish for enlightenment of the greater way. And please tell us what does each metaphor represent. So 3 metaphors. The first one is related to the building, house building.
Oh, a girder. The main
Girder?
beam in the
Yeah, main beam. So
Yeah.
what is main beam doing? What does that represent for the bodhicitta?
It's holding up
wish.
all of the other
Other what?
bodhicittas, holding up all the other practices.
Okay. Any particular qualities?
The
The sixth
perfection.
perfection.
Yeah, the perfection. Cool. And okay, the second one. This English is very hard. Elixir chemical, right?
Mm-hmm. Alchemical.
So
elixir.
yeah. What does that mean? A chemical elixir. Yeah.
Because it can transform something base into something pure.
Yeah. Transform chokni
Mm-hmm. Transform the two collections
to the Yang Dabe Zobe Jiang Shu.
to the bodies of a Buddha.
Yeah, yeah.
Or the
Cool.
two what you just said, the ultimate parts of enlightenment.
Yeah. I have a question here. Since we are collecting the collection of Myriad wisdom, does that mean, well, in the same time we are already on the way to total enlightenment? Do we need to focus again that transform the collection of Myriad and wisdom into the matchless total enlightenment? Do you know what I mean? Because only Buddha can have the collection of Myriad and wisdom, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Yeah.
wow, that's an interesting question. I've only heard of it discussed in relationship to the Bodhisattva track, but I don't know the answer to that. That's a good question.
Okay. Okay.
Geshe
Cool.
Michael, is your sound working? Not yet. Has anybody else ever heard it mentioned in relation to like the lower scope?
That's okay. We can figure it out later. So what is the third metaphor?
Isabel Zhao says a gold mine.
Yeah. So what is the Tibetan for gold mine?
Ter Chen.
Yeah, Teichen. Cool. The wish for 11 of the great is like a gold mine which contain great collection of virtue.
Oh, just so you know, Gibson, it's not golden. It's not mined. It's a mine, like M-I-N-E.
Ah, okay,
like where
okay.
you go to find the metal underground.
Yeah, golden mine. Thank you for your correction. And the final question, is there a Senge which is not Teichen? So if so, does that fit the definition of the Senge? Okay, so last time we mentioned that it's possible for the lower track to have the Senge because they also want to have enlightenment, which is not total, like our hearts. But I have a question that if that is the Senge, but it seems doesn't fit the definition of the Senge, because the definition of the Senge is I want to become the total enlightenment in order to benefit every living being. Yeah. All right. So what is the Tibetan vocabulary? Migewa chu bong wei bong sen.
Stop doing the 10 bad deeds.
Yeah. So what is a bong sen?
A mind which is eliminated, I don't know, or stopped.
Yeah, a state of mind which you want to give up.
Yeah.
The 10 bad deed. Yeah. So what's tun dun?
Dun, dun.
Very difficult.
Your intention or something?
Accurate.
Yeah, accurate. Cool,
Yeah.
Oscar. Yeah. The context is if you want to have the training of the wisdom, then you can thinking of the word, meaning of the word. No, the dame, no self, but it has to be tun, accurate. Yeah. Okay, ringtone.
Length.
Yeah, length or distance.
Long.
Oh, Xuanzang.
Girder.
Girder. Okay, girder. Central being. All right. Welcome back, Geshe.
We can hear you.
Yeah, I'm sorry, my sound wasn't working. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you
Okay,
plug in
awesome.
the Yeti?
No, I don't know what was wrong. Something happened to my speakers, but I just started the whole thing over again. And it's working.
Yeah, there's a big like buzz
Wind sound.
or
Oh, is it coming from me, you think?
like it might be.
I'll turn my mic.
I think so.
No?
I'll turn my mic off. I don't think it's me. Should I? Okay, I'm gonna unplug my mic. Okay, hang on.
Yeah, it was him.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm afraid so.
Yeah, that fixed it.
I just unplugged it. Is that okay now?
Yes.
Seems like you're not connected to the Yeti now, usually.
Now,
Right.
is that okay now?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
so it's your microphone that's making the noise.
Is it still buzzing?
Hey,
But
yeah.
you know, we'll live with it.
Maybe
me
not using the Yeti?
Is it still?
Yeah.
Yep.
Still?
Yeah, the Yeti's producing the background noise.
Come on, sweetie pie.
You see Tim's trying to give you instructions here in the chat.
Oh,
It's original audio thing. In the upper left-hand corner, please click on original sound and click on. Oh, okay. I never heard of that. It doesn't have an off choice.
you just touch it with your mic, with your mouse
How's that? Is
cursor.
that better, you guys?
Perfect.
Yes.
Oh.
That's it. Well done.
Wow.
Yay,
Ooh.
Tim.
Thank you, Timothy.
Mission accomplished.
I have
Yay,
no
Tim.
what has to do with anything. Okay. All right,
Okay.
Gibson, let's do it.
Okay. Here's my translation.
Chungdi, Samdiki, Gapigi, it's an animation. We must about to select with the words foundation of this sheep of dash same explanation in a greater way. And also there is support. Semki day. Yeah. There was foundation, must have been some anywhere. Yeah, good. Okay. So it's a confusing thing, and I think Chunni Lama is struggling with the problem here. Why did Jetsun Kappa, who never wastes words, why did he say Shidang then? You see what I mean? Why did he say foundation and foundation? You see what I mean? I was reading it this morning, and I was thinking, there are very rare situations where she means cause, and then 10 never means cause like that. So I think what he's saying is it's the Tekchen Lam support. Okay, bodhicitta is the support, like the table that holds up the Mahayana, but it's also the door which causes you to go in. You see what I mean?
Like Shilam Drebusum, like from that.
Yeah. So I think he's trying to explain why Tsongkhapa repeated the word foundation, and I think he wants the she to be more causal, and I think he wants the den to be more just support, like that. It's similar to the difference between the two Buddha natures. So anyway, here's a friendly wish for enlightenment, greater way, teach us and good day. The last half of the sentence just says, after foundation and basis, what he's saying is that the wish for enlightenment in the greater way is also it's also indicating, Yang Den means he's also indicating that bodhicitta is not only the support for the Mahayana, it's also the door to get the cause to get into it. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. So
And here he repeat the Yang Den twice. Do we need to stick to the same translation?
this is a different thing, you see?
Okay.
So his Shung Di means this verse or this section is also indicating Besten or teaching us Besten, the reason why we should develop this wish. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Good. That's okay. He's trying to deal with the repetition between she and ten. Yeah.
Mm.
And she rarely can mean cause. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I bet the translation can remain like that. You gotta give me Ketsu in this second paragraph.
Second paragraph.
The first line of Tibetan on this page. Nipa Ketsu. You
Package.
you didn't translate Ketsu.
Oh. How to develop the wish for enlightenment. Okay. Yeah, I forgot to translate this one.
Why is this sentence unusual, everybody? $20.
Like a monk, a novice?
No. That's Getsu. Why is this line unusual, you guys?
Because it gives us what the second thing is.
Yeah, he identifies what number 2 is. And it's rare. It's rare that they will tell you where the heck you are. They'll just say number 2. You know, so there's a lot of number 2. Some are dangerous. So Nipa Ketsu means, how do you develop bodhicitta? Okay, so you got to translate that part.
Okay.
Okay. Good. Okay, I'm gonna teach you some Geki Keches. Oh, good. Features or benefit. You did that well. You translated.
Geshe, last time we also have the same sentence, but the typo is SUM. So I think it's a sum, right?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you because
because last time we have the same Kechu sum pen yun, but it's a typo of a sum.
Yeah. Okay. Good. It should be Sam, right? Yeah.
Yeah. It should be Sam. Yeah.
Okay, good. Knowing the feature or benefit, which is agreement. The sons or daughters, Shenig always say, of the virtuous ones. What's Gelwa? Gina.
Conquer.
Yeah, conquer. No, victor. We translate victor.
Victor.
Yeah. So you instead of virtuous ones here. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So that should be victor. The victors. Capital V. Okay. Of the victors. Yeah. Yeah. I was reading this morning in my free time. And I was thinking that if it was me, I would have put the third line here. I would have started it with PA''I, Pai, Agiku I. You see, because Juk Nupa, Shen Dundu Jupa Nupa means people who are capable of working for the good of other people. You see what I mean? people who are capable of working for the good of others, what others need. You said that's good. But he didn't connect it to Pao. The way it is now, Nupa is just standing by itself, the power. Okay, it doesn't mean able here because it's not an adjective. It's a noun. He should have put PA apostrophe I at the beginning of your third line here. Okay, and I don't know if that's a carving error or you see what I mean? If you don't put apostrophe I, it's not an adjective anymore, it's a noun. It's just the ability is hanging there with no, it doesn't refer to anything. You see that? You have to connect it to the warriors, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the warriors who are capable of acting on the behalf of others, me, Semchen Tachiki Dundu, Kini, Semchen Tachiki Dundu, the key after is Baonam, okay, the instrumental, KYIS, and the third line, the middle of the third line, yeah. That makes the warriors the subject of that sentence, you see?
Yeah.
So they make this wish their main practice. You see what I mean? Not you should keep. It's not you. You see what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
It means the warriors do. The warriors are the subject of the sentence because they are in the instrumental. Okay. They keep. Yeah. Good. Yeah. Good. These warriors are okay. Good. Semchen Tamje, and it's a play on the word sattva, right? He's playing with the word sattva because sattva can mean person and sattva can mean warrior. Bodhisattva means, Chanchu Sempa, a mental warrior, right? It's Chanchu Sempa Bodhisattva includes the word for warrior. Okay, the last syllable, DPA apostrophe, is warrior, right? So he's playing here. Tsongkhapa's playing. He says those warrior guys, which means the sattvas, which means the bodhisattvas. You see what I mean? They, for the good of every being, keep this supreme joy wish. Okay, so they can help. You see, good. Okay, good. That's fine. I had one suggestion. What was that? Now that you're a good translator, you might want to practice putting the root text words in italics.
Italic, okay.
Yeah, okay. So that's, that takes some extra skill. Sometimes when you start, and that's the last step of translation of this paragraph. So the last step is to go and put the root text words in italics. And at that point, you might have to change your translation a little bit, you see, just because it's hard to get the italics, okay? So, the last step of translation, if you're translating a commentary to a root text, is to put the root text like it's in bold in the Tibetan, we put it in italics in the English. And then sometimes you're going to have to modify the English a little bit so the italics make sense. Okay, yeah. So that's extra job. Okay, all right. So if it's me, I will translate that little piece starting with Judson. I will make it a separate line. I will move the Tibetan after your long English here.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Good. And what it means is the lines about what is he saying there? Gibson? What's
It's like the other version of Nangjo Nekyang, Nyanen Dedaki.
yeah. Okay, so the line that's okay. Sometimes sok, the Sanskrit is adi. Okay, adi, adi. Sok is means etc. Right, and so on. And in Sanskrit, it's adi. And the word adi in Sanskrit means the part that starts with, the part that starts with. The Tibetans use sok, and that means Jetson and so on, Jetson and so on. But the Sanskrit sok, adi, it means the part that begins with Jetson. Okay. And then he says, what this line means is the meaning of the line that starts with Jetson is the same as it was in the previous verses. Okay. This is what we call a refrain. It's just going to be repeated over and over again at the end of each verse, right?
All right.
So what this sentence says is that line that starts with, you see, that's the Sanskrit. That line that starts with Jetson is the same as before. Okay. Now, one more point. As a translator, the English might not start with Jetson. Okay. Whenever the Tibetan says the part that starts with Jetson, unfortunately, because the English word order is different, you might not be able to say start with. You might have to say the line that includes Jetson. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just a translation thing. Okay. Yeah. So watch out for that. All right. Let's go to the next paragraph. Boy, he's giving you a lot of help here. Again, he told you what's number 2. Okay. Yeah, this baslup, okay. It means how to train yourself, right?
No.
Lapsu means how to train yourself. Okay. How to train yourself in the activities of a bodhisattva. Chopa here means the activities of a bodhisattva. Okay. How to train yourself, or you could say how to train yourself in the life of a bodhisattva. That might be better. I think the way you had it might be better for that part, because that's how we're translating the title of the book, right? Or the Shantideva's book. Okay. Has 6 kinds of practices: giving, ethical way of life, not getting angry, joyful effort, meditate, concentration, and wisdom. Yeah, I like it. Nowadays, I'm experimenting. I haven't decided yet, but I think, or maybe just when you teach it, the first one, sharing, is kind of nice, but I'm not asking you to change it. I think you should say giving.
Okay.
I think you should keep it as giving. But and then personally, I find it more powerful in a class, especially a DCI class. For the third one, I will say not getting upset. Okay, because it's stronger. We can say I didn't get angry for many days. I didn't yell. I didn't jump up and down. I didn't hit anybody. But did I get upset? Yeah, many times. Okay, so I think it's supposed to be upset. I don't think it's just. I don't think it's just when you start fighting or something like that. Okay. Anyway, those are some small things that I keep changing as I get older, as I get more upset and less angry. Okay. Dumbo Lanyin, Dumbo Keches, Dumbo Lanyin. This presents our constitution. The first is a feature of benefit. Dumbo Keches, nice. Yeah. I would say feature or the benefit, comma, and is indicated in the 4 lines. You see what I mean? And is indicated in the 4 lines that start with, you see? Good, yeah, we start with giving living beings. Yeah, and you're gonna have to, after you decide the root text, you're gonna have to change this part, right? You're gonna have to fit your root text, okay?
Yeah.
All right, okay, good.
So what if the Tibetan word that couldn't connect these two
Yeah.
word in one
Yeah.
sentence? What would you do, or your suggestion?
I will say it is indicated in the 4 lines that include the words, and then I will give those separate words. You see what I mean? And that way the syntax or the word order doesn't matter at all.
Yeah.
Okay. And that way I don't drive the hypertext people crazy. Okay. But in an extreme case, you know, I will ignore the Tibetan and just put the main part he's talking about, you know, but I try not to do that. Okay. I try to include those words. Yeah. Cool.
Okay. Yeah. So this is my translation. Thank you.
Nice. Good job. You guys are getting better and better. Yay. Okay. Grandpa's going to go to your text. Where are you? Oh, that got lost. I restarted my computer when it wasn't working. Hang on. Okay. Gibson. Parent. Okay. Come on. We can do it. Okay. Okay, here we go. Can you see it now? It's okay?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes. Yeah.
All right, let me give you a bigger, oh man, don't do that. Let me give you a bigger cursor, hang on. Display cursor, yeah. Cursor. Yay. Okay, let me put you guys up here. Okay, here we go. All right, you finished these 2 parts. I think we're here, right? We're halfway through here. Am I right?
We finished
we're
this
at
one.
23.
We finished that. Okay.
Okay.
All right, finish this.
Yeah, next page.
Okay, good.
There.
Okay. All right. I'm not going to do the root text. Let's do the commentary. So please read. You start, Gibson, and then later I'll ask you to pick somebody else. Okay.
Okay. 驴龙族受贤啦，动为金巴尼，龙瓦贝周围来瓦公瓦，切北因新奇罗布大补堂，乌布拉恰显之北切拿现年，丢巴之北春夏秋因啦，周围屯啦，马逊行，宁头给北交塞基之巴堂。东瓦北，涅北扎巴秋之周北修。
Nice reading. So he lists a few things you could give to other people, and he says 2 things. What are they?
To make other people physical happy.
No, this means giving away your own body, okay? And giving away the thing. Longchen means the things you own, okay? Your material possessions, okay? So giving away your own body as a servant to others, or giving away things, etc. When you give them away, dongwa means to send, right?
Yeah.
But in the discussion of giving, it means to give away. Okay. In English, we say give away to others. When you give away your body's time and you give away your possessions to others, that kind of giving. And then he says, let's think about it from the point of the longwapo. Okay. Longwa means to beg something or to ask for something. So what's he talking about?
Thinking yourself.
Longwa
Or
poem,
say-
Who's receiving the
the recipient, the person who's receiving your gifts. Okay, it means the person who's asking you for things. Okay, Longwa poem means the person who is asking you for something. Okay, those drowa in the root text means living beings. So when Chonin Lama says in the root text, when Tsongkhapa says living beings, he's referring to the living beings who are asking you for something. Okay, all right, and you need to kong their rewa,
fulfill their hope.
Yeah, and the adjective is kang, which means full, G-A-N-G. Okay, and like a cup of tea, a cup of tea in Tibetan you say cha kang chi. Yeah, okay. So this is the same root. And Tibetan does have roots, and they are very difficult and strange. And somebody wrote a book about it, and I told you guys you should try to find it, but I saw it like 35 years ago. And it's interesting because it was written by a German who was stuck in a British prisoner of war camp in World War II in India. He was stuck in India, like Brad Pitt. And he was born and he studied the roots of Tibetan, and he wrote a good book about it. Okay, maybe you guys can find it. Kongwan Chepe Yishin Nobu, what's that?
Wishing giving Ju.
Yeah, Chintamani Tabu. Okay. So when you give things, when you're willing to give away your body or your possessions to others, that's like a wishing gem which fulfills the hopes of all beings who are asking you for stuff. Okay. On the other hand, it also, let's go to the fourth line and go backwards. It also chupa, like dorje chupa.
Cut off.
It cuts the dupa. What's dupa?
Darkness.
This dupa means a knot in a piece of rope.
A knot.
Okay? Yeah. So it cuts the knot of senna.
Stingy.
Yeah, it cuts the knot of stinginess. Okay. Yeah. So on one hand, this first bodhisattva activity, giving, it's like a gemstone. It gives a wishing jewel, it gives you anything you want. On the other hand, it's like the Sun Cha Chok. What's that?
The supreme weapon.
Yeah, the very best. And oftentimes Sun Cha implies some kind of weapon with a blade, like a sword or a knife. Okay, so you might want to say knife here or sword or something like that. Okay, like in Seiji's text, right? Sunja Kolo. Okay, the crown of knives. Sunja. Okay, so it's the best blade for cutting the knot of what?
Stinginess.
Yeah, and I don't know, I'm sure some of you guys have an opinion, but I never found a good English word for senna. Stinginess sounds a little bit, I don't know. It means hesitation to give the things you have. You know, stinginess is a kind of a colloquial English word. It's not really, you can say parsimony, that's a more academic word, but nobody knows it. So, you know, you got to try to find a good translation for serna in English, okay? Stingy is mainly used in conversation. It's not used in books much. Okay, anyway. Then he describes serna, okay? He gives you a definition of serna. Ngopo lak chak shen. What's that mean?
You desire for the silver,
Yeah, ngopo
for
means
the
you-
money.
no. This ngopo means stuff. The stuff.
Stuff.
Okay, all the stuff you own. You have chakshen. You have attachment to it, and you don't want to. You don't want to give it to other people. So you're gonna have to chupa that chakshen.
You have to cut
Yeah,
this
you gotta cut
attachment.
it off. It's like I don't know, cutting off something. I have a doctor who cuts off little spots of my head every few months from the Arizona sun. So you just got to cut it off and get rid of your stinginess. Okay, you got to cut it off of you. Okay, good. Chokla, doe dunla mashum. Do you know shumba? Shumba. Shumba is a rare word, and it means tired and discouraged. Okay, so never get shumba. Okay, never get discouraged or tired when you're working for doa.
When you're working for the living being,
Yeah, you're gonna need to not get discouraged, and by the way, shumba can also mean depressed. Sem shumba can also, it's the Tibetan translation for depressed, but here it just means you're like, I'm tired of doing this, or this is not working out. Okay, and nyingto means what?
Courage.
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 Yeah, literally it means heart power, but it means courage. Yeah, courage. Okay, so if you're gonna practice these Gyalseki Chupas,
The Bodhisattva way of life.
yeah, good. You're gonna have to not get discouraged, and you're gonna have to have courage. Okay, and if you can do all that, by the way, what's Towapo?
And the giver, the giving, the giver.
Now, there's a principle of translation that we have not talked about much. It's parallelism, okay? Like he'll say, this is true, and then he'll say, on the other hand, this is true. And you have to be sensitive to it in translation, when you're translating. So, Tongwapo is the second half of a connection in this paragraph. Where's the first half?
Longwapo.
Yeah, good. So great. I should offer you some money, but nah, you spoke too fast. So yeah, when you translate this paragraph, the reader should feel the connection between Longwapo and Tongwapo. The way to express that connection, if you're a good translator, is to add some kind of word like, as for the giver, all right, as for the giver, or from the giver's side, okay, and it means all of this has been talking about the person receiving this stuff, but for the giver's side, what's the benefit for them of this first perfection? Oh, they're gonna get Chakpa Kirti, Dharma Kirti.
They will be, their reputation will spread in the 10 direction.
Yeah, nice. Reputation is a great translation of Nyenda. Yeah. Nyen literally means what?
Listen.
Yeah, people will hear your name spoken all over India. All right, good. In the 10 direction. Good. All right, good. And Drokpa, Kevdog is the modern word for advertisement. Okay, when you Kev means everywhere, Drak means to be spoken of everybody, everywhere. Okay, so it kind of means it kind of means
here.
Yeah, that's a good question. I challenge you to think of how he used it in the last
to cover every land.
No,
his
how did he use? He used Shidang Ten in the last verse.
Oh, the cost.
Yeah, good. Yeah, it'll be, so you have to find an English word which implies cause and implies foundation at the same time. Okay, That'll be a reason why your fame will spread in the 10 directions or something like that. Okay. If you say foundation here, it's not normal English. Nobody says that.
Yeah.
Oh, this mixed nuts classes are going to be the foundation for our fame. You know, that we just don't say things like that. Okay. You got to think of a nice English expression. Okay. This is going to be our rocket ship platform for the mixed nuts fame to spread in the whole world. Something like that. I don't know. Okay. Please, let's pick, like Gibson, why don't you be the meme guy and you have other people read? Okay.
Yeah. I want to pick Roxana.
Hi, Gibson.
Hey.
Nipa Tongtsuni Detar Shene Sok.
Good. What's Tongso mean, Gibson?
The way you give.
Yeah, nice. So what did the last verse cover?
The last verse cover the xi and xi dang zhi. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it kind of covered the benefits of giving and why it's good for other people and why it's good for you also.
Yeah.
And now he's going to tell you, now that I told you what great things are going to happen if you're an expert giver, well, let's talk about how you give things. Okay. What's the style or what's the method? Okay. So, and that's the verse that starts with Deta Shine. Okay. All right. I'm going to skip the root text. Gibson, who else are you going to torture this evening?
Yeah, I think Rosanna can keep reading one paragraph.
Yeah, that last one was too short.
Sultetar Shene Ranki Lutan Senor Sok Long Cho Che Tang Ter Dege
Yeah.
Tamche Shenla Yongsu Tongwei Lam Sangpo Kepe Den Par Chao.
Great.
Nice. Good job. Good job. Sul Deta Shene means now that you know what?
And now you know how to give.
Yeah, no, actually, this Sul doesn't mean how to give because he hasn't covered it.
The result.
Yeah, now that you know how the benefits work, okay,
Yeah.
you might have to add a word. Now that you know how the benefits work, you're gonna want to, now that you know how the benefits work, now you have to go to the end of the sentence. If you're a kepa,
If you're a master,
yeah, you should demba. Be
you
careful with
should,
the spelling. Be careful with the spelling.
you should depend on.
Yeah, or you should use, right? Like medicine or a doctor.
Yeah.
You should depend on in the sense of use what? This one here.
Excellent path.
Yeah, this excellent path. And then we're going to work backwards, okay? Where you yongsutowa.
You really give.
Yeah, you
your
give
stuff
away everything. Shenla.
to other living
Yeah.
beings.
And what are you going to give away? Your dewa and your gewa.
Your happiness and your virtue.
And oftentimes, Gibson, these are introduced as result and cause.
Okay.
What's that mean?
Result and cause. Virtue in the way of the cause, and happiness is the result that you get.
Nice, nice, yeah. So, and in the opposite way, okay, in the opposite way, they say duk dik. Duk dik, what's that? Duk dik.
In the bad deed, and you
Yeah.
will have suffering.
Yeah, suffering and bad deeds. When you do Tonglen meditation and you take away other people's suffering, you also take away the mental seeds that haven't opened yet, okay, of bad deeds. And so when you take suffering away from other people, you take away the suffering that they already opened from the seed. but you also take away the suffering that hasn't opened yet. You take away, I guess you clean out their kunshi, right? Okay. And here he's doing the same thing. Tsongkhapa's doing the same thing. Okay. He's saying, yeah. And by the way, somebody, the typist, if you think about the Tibetan letter R, okay, if you move the line, the vertical line, if you move it over to the left, it looks like a D. So, I mean, if it was carved fast, the R will look like a D in Tibetan, right? Okay. Also, there's a famous monastery called Dege. Yeah, and that's where the Tengyur was carved that we used to input the 3,700 ancient commentaries. We used the Dege edition, and we actually got permission many years ago, like 1985 or something. We got permission from the Chinese government to get a carving printed in Dege, and we sent it for input. So we paid a large amount of money to get a whole new printing from the wood blocks at Dege, and they were that's what is that? That's 200. Sorry. Yeah, it's 210,000 wood blocks. Okay, 210,000 wood blocks, and we had each page printed. It was a huge project, and that was the first Tengyur that was outside of China. Okay, they sent it out, and we got all of it. It was like a miracle. Okay, and it's all input now, and now everybody can have it free online. Yay! Okay, so Shenla Yonsetong in Lamsang Kepitembichao. Okay, yeah, he defines Longche here, your possession, and he lists two of them. What is it?
Se and Nor, your food and your jewel.
Yeah, your money. Here, Nor just means your money. Money. In the modern world. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Let's read this next one, and then I'm going to teach you some Vajrayana.
Wow.
Very rare.
Anna, can you read?
2 minutes, Geshe.
Oh, better do it fast.
Okay. No,
Sorry. Did you say Ben?
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Otherwise I will. Yeah. Read. Please read.
狼是谁陪伤心，给肩膀糖，给谁陪强吃肩膀独行，米吉肩膀你 shuki topo.
I'm going to read this fast because we don't have much time. When the root text says, give away the things you own, right? The things you use, longche, it refers to Sangsinghi Jimba. What's Sangsing?
Material.
Yeah, material giving stuff, okay, giving stuff. Then when Tsongkhapa in his root text says gay,
the virtue.
It's also referring to the Chinki Jimba.
Dharma, giving Dharma, give Dharma.
Yeah, giving the Dharma. And then there's a third traditional kind of giving, which is to give Minjikpa, like Jigme.
Yeah, fearless.
Yeah, giving protection from fear. Shuki means what, you guys? Shuki
by the power.
By the power.
What's that mean?
It means as a result of or something?
No, here it means it's automatic.
Motive.
It means it's implied. It's automatically implied. It just means that Shuki Top is an ancient expression that means, look, when you give away all your stuff and you give away all your good karma, well, protection is implied because if people are hungry, you protected them with your food and your money. If people don't understand good seeds, you gave them good karma. You taught them good karma. So in a way, you automatically, Shukito means you covered it automatically, that you gave them protection from fear, because you gave them food and you gave them money and you even gave them your good deeds, or you taught them how to give themselves. You taught them the Dharma, right? So he says, now, last thing, just as an extra reward for Gibson for having a great term, I'm going to give you a Vajrayana thing. In the Vajrayana, there's 4 kinds of giving, and one is missing here. Okay, he didn't cover one of the famous 4 kinds of giving. Okay, so here it is. These are commitments connected to the Buddha named Ratnakara, which is called the source of jewels, Ratna Akara, which means the source of jewels. I like to call that Buddha Jewels because I want to give him a short nickname. Okay, and that commitment in the Vajrayana, for example, if you took Medicine Buddha initiation, you already have this commitment. You're supposed to 6 times a day. You're supposed to do 4 kinds of giving. And my question to Gibson is, which one did Choni Lama skip?
Love.
Yeah. And these 2 words in the Vajrayana, these 4 kinds of giving, 2 of them are unusual. 2 of them don't mean what they say, okay? So when you give protection in the Vajrayana, the same giving here, when you say Minjikpa Jimba, right? Giving protection from fear, okay? It has a special meaning, specific meaning in the Vajrayana. It doesn't mean you protect somebody from somebody with a gun or something like that. It doesn't mean that. It means here, you keep upeksha.
Equanimity.
Yeah, and that's giving protection.
Well,
that's interesting, right? You treat your enemies and your friends the same. You know? I'll tell you a story. I know we're out of time. I don't care. So when I was growing up, I went to a Christian church. I was brought up in a Christian church, a good church, a really good church. And we used a famous prayer book that was written, I don't know, 300 years ago. Archbishop Kramer, I think it is Kramer, I'm not sure. There was a very famous joke in London. They said, you should become his enemy because he treats his enemies better than his friends. He has a policy in his life. He has a policy in his life that he will treat his enemies better than his friends. That was his policy. And it's a beautiful thing. So it's very similar, right? What's it mean to give love?
Destroy our thought of anger.
Yeah.
And speaking sweetly and with truth.
Yeah. So in the Vajrayana, the 3 givings are 4, and 2 of them have a special meaning. Okay. So you just got, as a reward for a great term, Gibson.
Thank you. Thank you.
You got a little Vajrayana, which I never do in the mixed nuts. You know that. Okay. Yeah. All right, Nick. Guess I went too long.
What are we going to do? Thank you so much. Thank you, Geshe-la. That was amazing. And thank you for that little teaching on the 4 kinds of giving. And also thank you for getting up every day, probably at like 2 or 3 in the morning, to prepare these texts and do all this work that it's impossible that one person could do. So we know you must have a team hidden under your bed to help prepare all these texts or something.
Oh, Nick, I got to show you my team, okay? Hang on.
While he's gone, I'm going to send you guys who are watching an email, just in case you want to do a little something nice for the boss. Is Just consider how hard he works. Aha, I knew it.
That's my team. That's the team. We work on the bed a lot.
I've seen them. I knew that they weren't just sitting there.
I do the kanji. I do the tingy. Geshe does the sumo. I don't have kids, okay? I got to do with what I have.
Most of us have kids, but they're still too young to put to work.
Don't worry, they're gonna work hard.
So we'll just take we'll take 5 minutes, and then here on this link, in this call, we're very lucky to have a treat with someone who we don't always think of as a translator, but her name is on more books than any of ours. And that's Venerable Jigme, Ellie Vanderpass. And she's going to give you guys a Q&A. And she's unassuming and extremely knowledgeable. So ask her all your questions that are tough. But you can save a few extra tough ones for Geshe Michael, because he'll do the final Q&A at the end of the term. And then after that, instead of yoga today, we'll have a class on my book, my last class. So stick around, one extra class today. And
by the way, one of the reasons I can do so much work is because of Venerable Jigme Ellie. And she's my helper for 30 years. And because of her, I can do a lot of work. She does all the dirty work. She lets me do the translation stuff. Okay, so, yep.
Thank you, Geshe. Thanks, everybody. Oh, and I know there's actually, I can see you guys later, but I just want, in case there's some people who aren't going to be here, thank you so much, translators. I know some of you only come to the morning classes. I think the Russian team, you guys are unbelievable. Thank you, Inna, for organizing it. I don't know who's doing all the translating, but I really appreciate you. We all do. And what we're doing as translators is trying to make all this stuff available to the modern world. And you guys are doing a huge part of that work, So thank you so much. Okay. Thank you, Jigme, for the Q&A, and I'll see you in 5 minutes.
Okay, see you guys this evening.
Oh, Geshe, you'll be back here.
Sorry. Yeah. We'll be back in about 1 hour. Yeah.
Yep.
Good.
Thanks, Geshe.
Mr. Nick's book.
Yeah.
Today.